Thank you. Alongside Mike Johnson, Jeff O'Neill, and Darren Drager. One playoff series win does not exercise 8 years of excruciating playoff loss demons. Probably takes at least another round, maybe, to do that. Maybe two, yes. But how significant a step forward is this for the Leafs?
It's monumental in that they had to get it done and probably get it done in Game 6. While you may say it doesn't wash away the last 8 years, the stench of losing in maybe Game 7 would have plagued them for the rest of their time as players. So they needed to get that done. I just think it wasn't pretty. No. It wasn't perfect. But they found a way to win in a tight game. In moments that they have come up short in for a decade, they found a way to get done. That has to be a positive for the group moving forward.
You know, in our postseason preview, we talked about the maturity, a different feel around the Toronto Maple Leafs going into the Battle of Ontario. Now, was the maturity tested against the Ottawa Senators? Of course it was. But Toronto started the series very, very strong. You know, they jump out to the 3-0 series lead. Yeah, of course, the Ottawa Senators are going to push back. But that maturity, again, came to the forefront, I think, in Game 6 when they absolutely needed it.
I'm going to do a little Rory McIlroy comparison because when he won the Masters, it was almost like that's the way he had to win. He had to win by almost blowing it. And this is not the Masters. They have 3 more rounds to win. But the sense that, you know, having a 3-0 lead and losing 2, and then losing the lead in this one, it's almost the way the Leafs had to win to take that next step.
They certainly didn't make it easy on themselves. After we were saying 2-0, now it's probably over. Just get through the third period. And Craig Berube, before the last game, before this game, he talked about the core 4 and how he was tired of talking about them as a team game. And we've been talking about them, how they don't produce and don't get things done in big games. Well, major props to these guys because they got it done tonight. Power play earlier in the game. This is not a rocket from Austin Matthews. And maybe, James, maybe just sometimes you need a break, a power play. And this puck, I guarantee you that was supposed to go down to Matthew Nyes. And then William Nylander gets on the board. I don't think he played particularly well in the last game. Maybe didn't even have his best stuff tonight. But he showed up, and their best players were a major factor in the score. And that's not them stepping outside their boundaries and doing something unbelievable. That's what they're paid to do for wins, and they came up big tonight.
It's about production for those guys. We can talk about
having a say in a big hockey game.
On the bottom line, not on the process, not on the good defense. These guys need to score. Factor in goals. The thing that has cost Toronto in all these deciding games, goals, scoring, power play, you name it, they came through. They came through like they were counted on doing.
And in that way, overcoming the adversity and with all those guys producing makes it the ideal way to win a series, though they would have taken the win anyway. Let's hear from the captain, Austin Matthews.
I mean, we talked about it this morning. Like, it's not going to be easy. We've spoken about it. There's going to be ups and downs. Just the way we responded, you know, after goals against, just sticking with it, grabbing the momentum back. A couple big plays by some guys tonight. Obviously, a big goal by Patch, and you know, just proud of this group. That's a hard-earned series, and you know, got to enjoy that. You know, take the good, take the bad, and now move on to the next one.
What did you take from the group this morning? What was your sort of sense of the team coming into this one?
You know what? I thought we had great energy this morning. You know, just the confidence in ourselves, and you know, like I kind of talked about. I mean, nothing else really matters. All the outside stuff doesn't really matter. It's about, you know, the 20, 25 guys that are in our room, and the belief in one another, doing it for one another, and just going out there and competing. So, yeah, this one feels good.
What do you like that moment mean for Max? Yeah. What does that moment mean for Max, do you think?
I mean, it's huge. You know, he played great, I thought, all night, and you know, just the ups and downs that he's been through in the last couple of years, and putting himself in this position, battling back from a couple injuries this year, and I mean, he scores the series clinching goal. I mean, you know, can't say enough good things about him. I love playing with him. It's been awesome getting to know him, and he's a big part of our room.
What do you see on your goal, Austin?
You know, I thought Nyes was screening the goalie really well. I just tried to get it in there, and luckily found its way through.
There's lots of pressure on the group from the outside. What did you guys show by just, you know, fighting off this charge by Ottawa?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, all the stuff on the outside, it's not, you know, it's in one ear out the other. It's all about the guys in the room, and the focus is going to continue to be on all 20, 25 guys that are in our room, and just focusing on that, just continuing to do what we can for one another, just continuing to push.
What was it like on the bench after the Braun goal? Like, what was it being said to each other? How did you gather yourself after that?
Nothing. Just go out and play. Next shift, go out and play. like I said, the response was great. We went out there and we took charge and got the momentum back. And Domes' line went to work. Hounded some pucks, made a big play, and Patch buried it.
What are your initial thoughts on another crack in Florida in round 2?
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be another hard series. I mean they're obviously defending champs, back-to-back Cup finals. It's gonna be hard. We definitely got to reset and do our homework and rest up, do what we can, and go in there with confidence and go in there with some pushback.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Here's Leafs goaltender Anthony Stolarz.
Yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster. I mean, it's kind of been, this whole series is kind of, them coming back and late and, us battling. And, we showed great perseverance and, I'm very, very grateful the boys were able to pick me up there at the end. But, at the end of the day, too, I let that one go right out of my mind and was just focused on that next shot. Obviously in, a 2-2 game, it's, tight and you got to be ready.
We all know what Max has been through. Just what do you think it means to him just after his injury history, being a healthy scratch to start this series and now gets the winner?
It's huge for him. I mean, it's one of the reasons he's in the lineup is his veteran presence. I mean, he's throwing his body around left and right, laying it all on the line for us. And, just for him to get rewarded after everything that, you said he's gone through and the injuries and whatnot, you're happy for him. He's a guy who is very well liked on the team. He leads by example, and, I'm really happy for him.
Your first series is like the starter for a team. What are you proud of about what you were able to do in this series?
I guess getting the 4 wins, right? That's the most important thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. It doesn't matter if you win 5-4 or 1-0. I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, putting that puck in the board. So, we're extremely excited about, getting through round 1 here. But we obviously know we have a tough test in round 2, and we'll enjoy it for tonight. But get ready to go tomorrow or next day.
What about the Florida Panthers? I mean, you know them well. What's that challenge going to be for you guys?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, at this stage of the season, every series is going to be hard. We're down to final bit of teams here, so everyone wants the same goal. Everyone wants that Stanley Cup, so teams are going to lay it on the line. And I'm extremely proud of the way that our team handled business, the way we played in the offensive zone and the defensive zone, the selflessness, the block shots tonight. You look at Lots at the end there, laying his body on the line, and then Willie icing it. I mean, that's what it's going to take, to advance.
Lots of pressure on the outside.
Pretty solid series, too, for Stolarz for his first playoffs.
He needs a couple days off, too, though. He's not used to playing this much.
Yeah.
He won't get a whole lot off.
The longer it goes till they start the next one, the better.
And by the way, we'll get the reaction from some Senators as soon as we gather it as well. The surprise lineup move, maybe of the entire series, was Max Pacioretty, who really hadn't done much down on the Domi line, getting elevated for this critical game, and it pays off as he's the hero, although is Craig Berube the equal hero for making that move?
Yeah, look, I mean, Craig Berube made it clear coming into the series that Max Pacioretty was going to find his way into the lineup. We know that Berube likes the big, strong guys, and when healthy, Max Pacioretty was a difference maker in the regular season, so he found his way in. But you're right, we wondered after Game 5 whether it'd be out. And here in Game 6, I mean, that's a hard-working assist. Second period leads to Nylander's first of 2. And then really you've got the game and obviously the series on the line. Who expected 67 to shoot the puck from there and be the hero in Game 6? But, I mean, he's got the playoff experience. He's got the weight behind his game, all of that. So kudos to Craig Berube for making that call because, again, we thought maybe he comes out Robertson goes in. Instead, he gets elevated with Tavares and Nylander.
I give a ton of credit to the coach on that hunch because I thought for sure he was coming out of the lineup. He didn't look like he was moving that well in the last game, and I thought he is the one that's going to come out, and Nick Robertson's going to come back in. The coach has always got to have gut decisions like that, and he just went with the feel of a veteran guy, and it obviously paid off big time for Berube.
As an organization, the reason they went out and got Max Pacioretty and the reason why he chose Toronto was to play in the playoffs, not the regular season. In fact, he was probably healthy the last month of the regular season, but there was no room or ability to get him in the lineup. It was all about saving him for this and saving him for maybe one moment, maybe 2 moments over the course of the entire playoffs, however long they happen, and wouldn't you know it, dying.
And that's enough right there, isn't it?
That's it. That's all they want.
The signing is worthy right now.
Money well spent.
100% it's worth it. They've been starved for anyone to have a moment, and that's what he can do. Even though he's not what he once was, he can still shoot it. He's been there before. He takes a puck and he puts it in the back of the net when they needed it.
Quickly, just one guy that had another moment. Scotty Lawton had a massive block before that. William Nylander.
Ate that puck at the end of the game.
That was worth it.
Let's hear from Max Pacioretty with TNT's Jackie Redmond.
Pacioretty, congratulations. You didn't start this series in the lineup, but boy, did you have a hand in finishing it. You know, with everything that you've gone through the last few years in your career, how special is it to contribute in such a massive way for the Leafs tonight?
Definitely felt good. A little bit worried there when they scored, but you know, this group has been resilient all year, and you know, it was a tiny bit of adversity there, but we stuck together and worked really hard and battled through it.
You say the word resilient. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about players like Austin Matthews and William Nylander, who, despite being up 3-2 in a series, took a lot of criticism the last 48 hours. What can you say about their leadership tonight and stepping up when the noise was the loudest?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely block out the noise. We're not aware of as much as probably everyone else, but you know, that comes with the territory of being some of the best players in the league, and we're just happy they're on our side.
It's Willie's birthday. I know you got a series to get ready for, but any special celebrations for him tonight, considering he also was big in this one?
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, so clutch to come in and have a shot, you know, off a little bounce like that. We'll be celebrating his birthday tonight.
All right, last one. How much have you guys enjoyed the support of one Paul Bissonnette over the course of your season and postseason? He had his ambassador jacket on tonight. He was sweating in the studio when Perron scored that goal.
Yeah, I'm sure when I hit the post there in the first, he wasn't too happy with me, and I'm sure someone had to give him CPR there in the third, but I always appreciate his support.
All right, congratulations again, and thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you.
Ottawa Senators captain Brady Tkachuk.
It's devastating. Really believed, and yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow right now.
How proud are you of this group, the way they came back being down 3-0?
I'm really proud of this team. I'm really proud of every single guy in this room, everybody that even wasn't playing, staff, trainers, everybody in this organization. Yeah, I mean, I think it takes will, it takes guts to get the job done, but I think we're going to take these lessons and be that much better because of it. And just, I know it's tough to realize right now, but everything happens for a reason, and I'll be better because of it.
What lessons did you learn in your first playoff experience?
Well, I mean, just the character we have in this room. First and foremost, I knew it all along, but to battle back and even battle back in this game, and I mean, I don't know, it's tough to swallow, but at the end of the day, it's to see this city, see this fan base, and really wanted to do it for them. And I mean, they came out and did their job, and it's gonna be a long couple months here, but I know myself and this rest of the group here, they're going to come with a lot of fire next year.
When they were chanting your name and then chanting "Go Sens Go" at the end of the game there and giving you guys a standing ovation for your season, how did that feel?
I mean, just to feel the support. It's been a long 8 years for them, and to experience it, and honestly, they don't really realize the impact that it's made on me and this team, and just really wanted to do it for them, and they were absolutely amazing. And I know it sucks right now, but I really can't wait for what the future holds.
How much pressure did you sense on yourself in this group entering this Game 6?
Honestly, we were playing with house money, and just knew what was, the reality of, you lose, you go home, and we're going to battle and give absolutely everything that we had, and we did that, and just unfortunately wasn't good enough.
Brady, I know you've had some other tough losses this season. I think about the Four Nations. Why is this one different?
Just really believed that we could win, and just, I mean, I think it's just like the fans and the amount of energy that they had, and I wanted to keep feeling that, keep having that energy, that atmosphere, and do it for them. Know how big this series was for everybody, and
not just our team, but for this whole city. And just disappointed that couldn't get the job done.
Does it sting a little too, knowing that if you got through this series, you get to play your brother in the next round?
Yeah, I mean, down the road that'll probably happen. So everything happens for a reason. So for the reasons we don't know, that wasn't meant to happen this year, but it could happen next year.
When you see the Pacioretty goal go in, what were you feeling in that moment? What do you think?
To be honest, it's a little deflating, but there's 6 minutes left to play, or 5, whatever it was, that I really believe that we're going to come back and win the game, and just tough.
That is the face and sometimes quivering voice of a guy who seems to carry the weight of the city, not just the team, on the shoulders.
If I'm a fan, I love that. I love to see him, that it matters that much.
Absolutely.
That he's
so
that
many
raw,
times you see
that
somebody
emotional.
when they lose like that, and it's so matter of fact. Yeah, we learned our lesson. We'll go get them next year, and it's almost not believable. If you're a Sens fan and you're not believing in that, that's leadership.
Well, what does it say about how much they love their captain that 20 seconds after the final horn goes and their season's over, they're chanting Brady, Brady, before they even chanted Go Sens Go? It's going to be painful. He said it's going to be a long couple of months, but when they do, whatever it takes, a couple of weeks to get over the pain here, big step forward for the Senators this season.
The entire organization.
Oh, yeah.
The players, coaches, management, ownership, massive step forward for this organization. They are so much better off and better positioned going forward. A lot of their young players had tremendous years. You think about Brady Tkachuk, what he's done. Tim Stützle, Jake Sanderson has been excellent. Ullmark has given them what they're supposed to get in net. They've changed and learned how to play this year. They've changed and learned how to win by playing defense, by being disciplined, by being responsible. All things they had to do. And you could see them getting better as this playoff went along from Game 1 through Game 6. So, yeah, crushing now, but they would look back in whenever it is, a few weeks, and know they had a good year.
I mean, it's very raw for Brady, for the players, for the organization, obviously for the fan base, but look at the bigger picture here, right? And you've got an owner in Michael Andlauer who has the resources to give his management group whatever they want, whatever they need to continue to build around Brady and that core. And look at the work that Steve Staios did, right? Go back to the Linus Ullmark trade. At the trade deadline, moves away a popular guy in Josh Norris, but brings in a very competitive and important piece in Dylan Cousins. So when you look down and you see that young core of Ottawa Senators players, it hurts today. There's no doubt about that, but the future looks tremendous.
Sometimes if a team they're dying to make the playoffs and they've got some young players like this, and if they get smoked 4 straight, you leave it and you say, what did you really learn from that? That you got smoked and you're not that good? I think that winning those couple games and having a fight, their young players took something out of this. I think you can say the same thing for the Montreal Canadiens. But Timmy Stützle, Jake Sanderson, they understand how much they have to elevate in the playoffs, and you don't just have success because you're a good player. I think those young guys can take something from that.
And those guys you just mentioned, Sanderson and Stützle, showed they can elevate. Stützle was incredible.
They did.
He could have had
best player on the ice maybe in Game 6.
Probably best skater. We know Jake Sanderson is a superstar defender already. And so to have guys that in the tightest, most pressure situations, that they can elevate, they can rise to the occasion, that's also promising.
And there's some smart guys running the organization. I'm sure they watched it and said, after that top line, when you go from Stützle to Tkachuk, up front they might need to add some more dynamic players where there's more of a threat to score a goal, because you're looking after that, who's going to put the puck in the net? That was a problem.
And Ullmark had a shaky start to the series, but got much better as it went along. It looks like they really found their goalie, and they've been looking for a long time. And it's always the first year after you bring a guy in and he gets the contract always seems to be toughest for that guy. So a lot of positives for Ottawa going forward, but it's the Leafs who are going forward to face the Florida Panthers. Here's the coach, Craig Berube.
Yeah, I thought, loved their start. They made a pretty good push in the second, I thought, but overall, I thought it was a solid game by everybody. I think our captain led us the way.
Apparently there was an error before the game with Alex Nylander activated ahead of William. Can you walk us through what happened there and how close was it?
Well, you're on the sheet there, and it's like, the normal names are up there but when you call guys up, they're all on there, and I got confused. So I'm like, what the hell? And so told the officials, It's Willie, not Alex. Yeah, he's here.
Just how happy are you that you stuck with Max Pacioretty, and what do you think that moment means for him?
Well, it's a lot. I mean, it's a huge goal, obviously, and I thought, he had some opportunities early. He hit the post there in the first, maybe. Had a nice play on Willie's goal with a good stick, broke a play up. He did a real good job for us, and veteran guy's been around, playing a lot of playoff games, so he came through tonight for us.
Lots of pressure on the outside. I know you guys try to ignore it, but what did the group show tonight by just pushing through against this challenge?
Yeah, I thought, like I said, they're business-like today. I think after, the Game 5 loss at home, it's a tough one. We came in here with a little bit different mindset, and I think that was a big key and big moment by the team for, just to come in here with a little bit different mindset. It wasn't do or die, but we wanted to finish it off here for sure. And we seemed a little bit more aggressive and on our toes tonight in the game, and just playing. Go play. Do what you do. You're good players. We've got a good team, been a good team all year. Just go play the game and play it hard and play it with structure.
Craig, you said the captain led you. What did you appreciate about Austin's
Work
game
ethic and competitiveness the whole game, high end. I don't know what his face-off percentage is right now, but it was high. I didn't see him lose too many draws. Starts there, and just heavy physical work, competing. Touched all areas of the game for us tonight in a good way. PK, power play, obviously, he scored a big goal. So, like I said, he led the way.
Quickly flip the script or flip the page to the Panthers. Just an early thought on that series and the challenge that Florida brings.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're obviously the Stanley Cup champs, so they're a very good team. They got a lot of good pieces there. They're hard to play against. I could keep going on and on, but it's not the time right now.
David Perron's a gamer. What goes through your mind when that goal goes in? How would you describe the bench?
Well, I thought we did a good job killing that penalty off, and it's tough. It's it's the heat of the moment with everything, and we didn't get that puck out right away, and I thought though we could have stayed on with the pressure and not let off, but you're not sure if the guy's out of the box yet. I get it all, but yeah, I mean, he's a gamer. He knows how to score big goals. But the bench was good. I mean, we didn't panic, guys. Let's go get it right now. That's what I heard on the bench. So let's go get it. We're good. And I thought that we came out and got on our toes again, and we're playing, which is a good mindset to have. We talked before the game. Focus on the next shift. Some things bad happen out there or whatever. Just focus on the next shift. Let's go.
Craig, before tonight, you guys had one goal from the bottom six all series, and Max gets it. Technically, he's on the third line, I believe, when he gets the goal. So you do get one from the bottom six tonight. What do you think was holding that part of the lineup back, and what does it mean to finally get one from the bottom six tonight?
Well, he scored an overtime goal, so that's, I think they contributed. I get, we need everybody to contribute in the playoffs for sure. But it's not all on the score sheet all the time. They do other things, You take the Lawton line. These guys, I thought they played a great series, that line. I thought they were so effective for us, and, checking, killing, momentum. What a block by Lawton at the end of the game. That's laying it on the line. That's how you win a series right there. So you may not see them on the score sheet, but they're valuable players for us that do a lot of other things right. Thank you.
I think the level-headedness you see with Craig Berube filtered down to his team in a situation like this where there was a lot of stress after they blew that lead in hostile territory in Ottawa. Did Mark Masters get interrupted by Craig there?
He was talking about, he asked the question, what did you like about Matt? And he said, work and compete. And that's what he just blurted out right away. And it's so true, because these guys are so talented, and we marvel at their skill on this panel every night. We talk about the toe drags and the score, the goal scoring and the bar down. But It all starts in the playoffs, regardless of how skilled you are, with work and compete. And if you do that, if you're that talented, that's going to show up on the score sheet somehow or another, if you're committed to the work and everything else that goes along with it. And Matthews was fantastic. He mentioned something that was big, face-offs. He was massive all over the ice tonight. One of the first shifts of the game, he just ran somebody over. And it was like, I'm engaged, I'm ready to rock. It wasn't just a wait and see, and I'm going to see if the puck comes loose. Took control of the hockey game.
It's amazing Craig Berube, who was not a uber offensive player when he played, understatement, he understands what those guys are going through. You hear him say, we just free them up and go play. Your good players go play. And with structure. You know, he understands how to communicate with those guys, alleviating pressure. He mentioned the bottom six. Bottom six in this series scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Max Domi, game winner. Max Pacioretty, game winner.
Yeah.
So, you know, volume's not there, but the importance of them was.
It's funny, though, you know, he was saying, I'm sick of hearing all about the core four. It's a team thing. We're kind of both right, because it was about the core four on this night, but it was also about Pacioretty and Lawton making that block. So total team effort from the Toronto Maple Leafs. We gave Craig Berube a lot of credit for the lineup move to move Pacioretty. He would have taken a lot of heat if the lineup move to put Alex Nylander in by mistake would have actually happened.
Well, look, I mean, obviously there was a mistake that was made, and the head coach kind of laughed it off in the post-game media veil. But what happened is the Toronto Maple Leafs clearly entered the wrong Nylander. But they recognized they had done that immediately. So it takes a bit of time to correct it. But as soon as they realized they'd hit the button and entered Alex and not Willie, then they communicated with the off-ice official and say, hold on a minute, we made a lineup card error. It's a mishap. But just think of what could have been, though, right? If they hadn't realized the mistake or the off-ice official hadn't said, hey, you still have time to correct this.
You have to correct it before puck drops.
As soon as the puck drops, he's an ineligible player. So
he laughed about it there, but he wouldn't have been
Your old word, that would have been the leafiest thing ever. If William Nylander didn't play in Game 6.
Yeah. If we were wondering the whole first period, where is this guy? That would have been the leafiest thing ever.
Let's hear from William Nylander, not Alex, and Max Pacioretty at the podium.
I think that we're, happy obviously to be the second round, but now our focus is, Florida. So that's where I think our mind's at, and, have a good night tonight, enjoy the win, and then focus on Florida.
Max, we know what you've been through injury-wise and starting the series as a healthy scratch. What does this moment mean to you?
It means a lot. You keep playing because you want to pitch in, and obviously when you're sitting down and the team's winning, it's you're happy for them, but you want to be a part of it, and just thankful for the opportunity.
William, just a general comment about your game tonight. Your happy birthday, by the way. Were you aware at all of the roster screw-up that it looked like for a while it'd be your brother playing and not you?
I heard about it after the game, but yeah, luckily somebody caught that.
Just a little bit about your game tonight, because 2 big goals and all that.
Yeah, I think, we competed as a team the entire game, and, got that power play and scored one there, and I think we just started flowing from there. I think we were hunting, and, Patch had a huge goal for us tonight, and still he was unbelievable, and, unbelievable team effort tonight to get the win and move on.
Max, just wondering what the first thought you had as soon as you saw that puck go in, and curious if your kids were here tonight.
No, they weren't here, but relieved after, Willie made that great play in the first, and I hit the post off a wide open net. Just kind of talking to myself throughout the game, thinking it would come, and fortunate that Domes made a great play, and there was a great screen as well.
William, what stood out to you watching Max work his way back and get ready for this moment?
Yeah, it's incredible, battling and, through his entire career, played against him when he was in Montreal and now seeing him here, and, he's done an unbelievable job, and it's been a lot of fun playing with him, and, the way he's come back from injury and, made his way into lineup and becoming a key player for us, it's incredible.
Max, for people who are unaware of your story, how close, when you're going through all this, we know that you've went to different places in the world to try to come back. How close did you ever come to say, you know what, that's it, my career is over, and just the resilience that you've shown to come back and have this heroic moment?
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations with people in my family and others, and I thought that I was done playing a number of times. And everyone always supported me to keep going, but you know, my story is just one of many, and it's one that's public, so it's one that's talked about. But a lot of resilient guys in this organization, been through a lot as well. So guys like that motivate me to keep going.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Senators goaltender Linus Ullmark.
Yeah, sort of. You know, there's possibly some things during the series that we'd like to have back. You know, I can only speak for myself, basically. But at the same time, you know, we go out there game one. They beat us fair and square 6-2. And then we go out there and push it to 3 overtimes. And we win the fourth one, or the third one. And, you know, you can make the assessments yourself if we figured it out. Well, sort of, but we also understood in a way how tight it is and what needs to be done for 60-plus minutes. And it's not easy. You know, I've said it before, in that sometimes it comes down to lady luck, but you got to earn lady luck's favor.
Sometimes after a loss like this, as an athlete, you go to bed and you're replaying certain moments in your mind. Is there anything that you're going to be replaying?
I'll be replaying the how loud it was from the fans and the cheers and the support that we got after the when we thanked the crowd. That's what I'm gonna, you know, put my emphasis on. Like, whatever happened, but these sort of things is something that I'll try to remember for next season and bring with me.
What's going through your mind as the clock expires and your teammates are coming over to console you? I think Tom Shabbat first got to give you a hug. What's going through your mind as you're going through the line of your teammates and you're on?
Devastation, sadness. Start crying right away because, like I said, when you leave it all on the line and you don't get it, you get really, and you're really invested in it. It's devastating in a way, and then you see everybody that you try to, or that you go to war with every day, and you feel that responsibility that if I made another save, or it's something that I always, you know, as a goaltender, you can't shy away from. It's just how it is. I'm always going to think that if I made one more save, then maybe we'll take it to overtime and win it there. But at the same time, we always going to win. We're always going to lose as a team. It doesn't come down to individual mistakes or anything like that. That's something that I've learned, and something that will help me kind of digest this loss and this series now afterwards.
As you were shaking hands with the Leafs in the line, you and Stolarz had an extra moment. Can you share what you said to him?
Yeah, I called him a beauty and stuff like that. But no, we just said how fun it was every night battling. You know, we had some comments throughout the season, throughout the series as well. You know, we know each other, we know how tough it is from our position. And he was great. You know, he battled his bottoms up the whole series, and it was a lot of fun playing against him. And that's what I wanted to tell him, that he did a great job, and hopefully he can keep it going. And good luck in the second round.
And finally, Senators coach Travis Green.
Much like our players, disappointed. I guess that's the best way to say it. I thought our guys played much like the whole series. It was another good game. Could have gone either way. Came down to a couple plays here and there.
People will look back at this playoff series as a learning experience for most of your players who are in the playoffs for the first time. What are some things you hope they take away from their first experience in terms of actual lessons?
Well, they're going to take away a lot. What playoff hockey's like, how hard it is, how razor thin the margin is. You know, every shift, every battle matters. Attention to detail. But I'm proud of our group. Like, man, they played hard. Took
that was about as close of a series as you're going to see, to be honest. I think most people would agree that that series probably could have gone either way.
And what can you say about how your team showed resiliency after being down 3-0?
Yeah, again, proud of our team. It's when you haven't won and you haven't played in the playoffs, you kind of got a fast track when you get there. And they held their head above water. They didn't get too down, much like the regular season when things weren't going their way. And they just stuck with it.
I know it's fresh. What do you remember about this group from the start of training camp to tonight?
Ah, man. Yeah, it's fresh. You're right. I don't know what I'll remember about it, to be honest, but they've taken a big step from the beginning of the year, from last season. But it's still, the coach in me it's still one step, and it's not easy to make the playoffs, and it gets even harder after you do.
What was your message to the team after, just getting into the room after the way they've played and losing?
Yeah, I mean, you're not usually prepared for what you're going to say after a loss like that in that manner. You battle back and they get a late goal. I was honest with them, like we have been all year. I told them I was very proud of them for the year they had. They've all come a long way. But in saying that, it's just one step. And, as coaches, as an organization, we're going to push them to be better and continue to take more than one step.
Leafs remain perfect in the Battle of Ontario. We had to wait 2 decades between them. Don't think we're going to be waiting that long till we see another one with the Sens looking the way they are and the Leafs not going anywhere. Except for Florida. Well, actually, Florida coming to Toronto for games 1 and 2 of that series. The Ottawa Senators are a really good up-and-coming hockey team. They are not the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. What do you rate the chances for the Leafs in this series?
They will be the underdog. They should be the underdog, given the way Florida's played and given the way Toronto has played in the playoffs so far. But they have home ice. It will be basically a toss-up. But the real test for Toronto, respectfully to Ottawa, is Florida coming up. And if they're a different team, if they're more mature, if the style of play that Craig Berube's put in is going to make it work, we're going to find out against Florida if it can. That's the ultimate test.
They certainly know how to win. They're physical. They're mean. They have a cycle game that's second to none in the league. They score goals at the right time. Their defense is shored up when they bring in Seth Jones. And behind that, there's the goaltender. And every piece of ice is going to be contested. You saw how tight this series was. The Florida Panthers are the Ottawa Senators on steroids. They're just better all-around game. So the Maple Leafs, one thing that's going to be important, we saw tonight, their board play suffered a little bit, like pucks in, pucks out. Those little details are going to be so massive against a team like Florida.
Look, I mean, this is going to be the toughest test that this version of the Toronto Maple Leafs have faced to their point in the NHL career. I mean, the young core, the core four of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, you're right. They're physical. They're nasty. The Florida Panthers are loaded up front. They're good defensively. You've got goalie Bob. There's a lot of reasons to fear the defending Stanley Cup champions, but I also picked Toronto to go to the Stanley Cup final, so they've got to get there through Florida.
I wasn't down, obviously, in Maple Leaf Square. I'm going to guess there were no "We Want Florida" chants this time around. That didn't work out so well last time. This time they have Florida. We'll see what they can do.